So today I'm gonna take the axle and slide it back underneath Suburban. Try to get it in. Take it for a spin tonight. Hopefully everything goes well. Okay, so one thing I'm slightly concerned about is the snout on the end of the pumpkin on the 10 bolt and the snout on the 9.5. So the 10 bolt measures 12.5 inches from the center of the axle to the center of the U-joint cap, and then the 9.5 inch out there, it measures almost 14 inches from the center of the axle to the center of the U-joint cap. So that's going to be something that's I'm concerned about. I'm afraid when the suspension is at full bump, the drive shaft won't be able to extend into the transmission because of the slip yoke on the back of the transfer case. Sorry, not the transmission, the transfer case. And I'm afraid it'll bottom out, and if that's the case, it'll break the tail shaft. It'll break the tail shaft on the back of the transfer case. So that's something I'm concerned about. With the links I have built, I can scoot it back. I can scoot it back quite a bit. That's not going to be a problem. So that's one of my concerns. We got a problem. Oh well. All right, so I'm gonna bend that track bar. I got a Harbor Freight pipe kinker there. So the 1 inch die fits the 1.25 inch tubing pretty well. Bending it will make it shorter. But one thing you didn't know is that I screwed up whenever I welded the track bar bracket on. I welded it too close to the center, and it was too long anyway. My track bar bracket was too long, so this is actually going to help me out. So this first one was 12 pumps, and then you can see my marks. I think I'm going to do 6 pumps on either side and see what that does, and then maybe do 6 pumps on this one too. We'll see what happens. So I know this is going to have a lot of force put on it, being a track bar. Bending it will make it weaker. So hopefully I don't taco it on the trail or on the highway. That'd be worse. All right. Well, as you can see, Suburban's in the shop. I had to stop recording last night. The video, it was just getting too dark to video. Took it for a spin, took it around the block. It was steering, it was driving a little funny, but that's to be expected. The rear end's out of alignment after doing all the work that I did. So what I'm gonna try to do tonight is to get the rear end aligned, and then also the wheel seal on the passenger side leaking. I'll post a picture there. I'll try to figure out what that is. Probably tore it when I was putting the axle in. That was the axle that was kind of hard to put in. You may not have been able to tell in the video earlier because it was sped up, but that I was having a little hard time putting that axle shaft in the housing there. So I probably tore it up. I got one ordered, so I'm gonna tear it apart and see why it's leaking. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. So now that I got this centered side to side, I'm going to take some measurements from spots on either side of the frame. It's the same on both sides. Like maybe a hole that's in the frame that's on both sides. Body mounts, they work. They'll be close. Sometimes body mounts are off a little bit, but they'll be close. Just make sure each side is square with the frame. And then if I have to make any adjustments there, I'll come back and look at this and make sure I'm still in line there. So I'm gonna get at it. So after measuring for multiple points on the frame rails, both sides measure out the same, so it should be square. That's even underneath it now, so that was easy enough. So now I'm gonna take that axle, pull those brakes off, and see what's going on with that. I'm back in the shop again. So I got the diff cover loosened up, draining all of the brand new oil back out. I bought a new container, that way I can reuse it. Let that drip a little bit. We'll pull the C-clip out, slide the axle out, and replace the seal. Maybe it won't leak this time. All right, got all that out. See here, the seal was good, but where it was leaking, dripping off the bottom of this seal here. So I think what I'm gonna do with my new one, I'll just put a little dab of silicone in it around the edges there when I drive it in. Pop the seal out. Works pretty good. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put a little dab of silicone all the way around the edge here and drive it in. Get it put back together. We'll get it together and we'll take it for a drive. See how it does. Hopefully that seal don't leak again. Everything sounded good till about 65 miles an hour. They started howling about that speed. I don't know if that's something to be concerned about, or reusing old gears would probably howl a little bit. So, but anything under 65 miles an hour don't make any noise at all. Everything seems pretty good. I forgot the video going down the road. My son went with me and we went for a ride. So that's why I don't have a video of that. Also, I'm starting a new project. I'll be putting the winch in it in the next video, so stay tuned. Thanks.